In this episode, I'm building a custom GQ Patrol bonnet. This is not going to be a bolt-on job. We're going to fabricate a new bonnet using the best parts of Toyota to create the ultimate GQ bonnet. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Shorty Patrol build series. So in the last episode we started getting the panel work done. We got all our doors on, but there was one thing missing and that's the bonnet. So in this episode we're going to build the ultimate GQ bonnet. It's going to be all metal. I've never done it before, so let's get in and have a crack. So this is a standard GQ Patrol bonnet I picked up on Marketplace for $100. It's fairly straight, just needs a bit of paint work. And this is a 79 series landcruiser bonnet. So I picked this one up for a bargain on Marketplace of $200. It's the pre-DPF model, so it doesn't have the extra hump in the scoop, but in my opinion, this one suits the GQ a lot better. So the plan is we're going to cut out the scoop section and the bulge, and we're going to graft that onto our GQ Patrol bonnet. So first thing I'm going to do is remove the plastic scoop section, just so we don't damage any of that when we cut it out. So next I'm going to take some measurements and work out where I want to cut this. I've only got one shot at it, so I really don't want to stuff it up. So I'm going to measure twice, cut once. I want to keep this hump section in here. That'll make it really pronounced on the GQ bonnet. So we'll get this measured up and cut it out. So I've marked out roughly where I want to cut this scoop out. I'm going a little bit bigger than what I need so we can lay that on the GQ bonnet and then trim it down. So I've used masking tape to try and get a nice straight line and then we can cut to that inside edge. So I've cut out the top skin, so we need to separate it from the bracing. So there's bits of Sikaflex in here, so we've just got to cut that out and then we can separate the two. Now it should just separate. Oh, look at that. So I'm happy with where I've cut it on the width. I just need to shorten the front a little bit just so we're behind the curve, and then we can get this traced and cut out and then get it tacked in. So I found the centre line of the GQ bonnet, and we've got that in line with the centre line of the 79 bonnet. And then when we come around the back, I've just gone 10mm off the back of the GQ bonnet to where the 79 bonnet starts. So that should be good to go and we'll get this cut out. So one thing we've got to sort out is the GQ bonnet has this little dip in it. So I think what I'm going to do is just run a couple of cuts in the side on each side here and then fold that piece down and weld it in. So I've done two cuts right where it curves off on each end, and then I folded that down and then just lightly tapped in the edges so it folds in and then folds back out. So it's not perfect, but I reckon once we get that all welded up, she should be sweet. So that's fitting pretty good, so I've just got to give it the tiniest little skim and then she should slot in there perfect and we can get this tacked in. So I've got the skin lined up nicely on there, so next step we're going to take all the paint off. So I've got this paint stripping tool on here, works really well, so we'll get all those edges done and then we can tack it in. So 50 million tack welds later, the skin's on. So I have to do it that way so it doesn't warp the bonnet. So I've done multiple passes, making sure I don't put too much heat into it. So next step is to hit it with the flap disc. So I'll sand this all down, check for any pinholes. If there's any pinholes, we'll fill it in and get it all nice and sealed up. So I need to sand down my welds on the little U-shaped section on the GQ bonnet. So I'm going to use my favourite metalworking tool, which is the die grinder. So it's got a rounded carbide tip and it's really good for getting right into the grooves and stuff, and it should get it nice and smooth. So I've got the welds all ground down nice and flat now. I did end up with some very small pinholes in a few spots, but I've decided against welding them in only because if I go and sand it back again, I'm going to start really thinning out that metal and I don't want it to be too weak. So the plan is I'm going to get some of the fibre reinforced body filler, do a coat of that just to fill in any imperfections, give it a bit of strength, and then we'll do the final normal body filler over the top of that. So I'm going to give the bare metal a coat of epoxy primer, just so we've got a nice base to put our body filler on. I don't want to do body filler on bare metal because there is a chance that you could get a bit of rust in between. So coat of this, that'll seal the metal, and then we can do our body filler over the top. So next thing I've got to move on to is sorting out the bracing. So we can't use the factory GQ one because, as you see, it's not contacting the skin. So if we leave it as it is, it's going to be flapping around. So what I need to do is cut out the centre of the 79 scoop bracing, and then we'll figure out a way to try and make it work together, because we also need that to bolt in the scoop section as well. So bracing's all done. I had to cut and fold a few sections and try and find the best places to attach them. The middle's pretty good, that lines up nice and straight, and then the same with these front sides are pretty good. The back ones I had to bend down a little bit to try and make them work, but it's come up pretty good, and I reckon once we get that into paint, that'll look pretty factory. Next thing I need to do is apply some seam sealer. Now I'm going to do it exactly the same way they had it in the factory, where they put little blobs under the sections of bracing that are coming into contact with the skin of the bonnet. So that stops any vibration, noises and any damage that way. So I've got Sikaflex 227, and this stuff should be the same sort of stuff they use from the factory. So I've given the seam sealer 24 hours to dry, so that's good to go. So next step, I'm going to sand all this back, and we need to do a bit of paint on it. So I've chosen to go with the stone shield. So this stuff acts as a little bit of a sound deadener because we won't be able to use the factory underlay on the bonnet. So this will help with noise a little bit, and it will make it look nice and blended in. So with the underside painted now, it's time to move on to body filler. So I'm going to start off with some Metal Tech filler by Septone. So we're going to give that a light coating and fill in any little imperfections in the welds, and then we can move on to the normal body filler on top. So that's the Metal Tech filler all done and sanded. Now it's time for the lightweight body filler. So that's the bonnet all done. So I've just done a coat of single stage primer for now, just to seal all the body filler and everything like that. I don't want to paint it yet because I want to do the whole car in one go, so that way we don't end up with any shade differences in the paint. And I still got to do another coat of high build primer on everything and then sand it back to get that nice smooth finish. So it's a pretty easy job. The hardest bit I'd say out of the whole thing was probably the bracing side of it. It just took quite a while to try and figure out the best way to join everything up. But I think in the end we ended up with a really good result, and I'm looking forward to finishing this build. So if you think about giving this a go yourself and you got yourself a welder and a grinder, I say go for it. I've saved a lot of money doing this. I have seen these sell professionally done for around $2,000. So even with the body filler and everything else that I went and bought, we're probably sitting at about 400 bucks. So that's pretty cheap for one of these. So I'm going to end the episode there. I'm quite happy with where we've got to on this build so far. So if you're loving the content, don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.